Hi, welcome back to the channel, and I'm going to show you how I fit these stairs. Now I'm just lucky because these stairs are just a straight flight. When I fit some winders, I'll be straight back for showing you how to do the winders. Right, so the first thing you need to do once it's prepped is measure how wide it is, and you got to check down through the stairs just in case it gets bigger or smaller. But if it's the same size all the way up, you take those sizes, you count how many stairs you got, because obviously you got to make sure that you've got enough carpet for the length, and it's time to start cutting it. So I'm in the customer's kitchen, and I've only got this little space to lay out the carpet, so I cut it down. I'm using that piece of metal as a straight edge. I'm just checking the edge of that carpet to make sure that's straight. There's no point measuring off of a wonky side bit of carpet when you need to work out where the stairs are going to cut. So you've got your measurement on the width for your stairs. What I always do is add a couple mil, because you don't want it net, because if a few of your tufts fall away, it will be short. So I always add a couple mil on the width, so it's slightly wider than it needs to be. And I'm just digging my knife in, not going all the way through to the tiles underneath because the customer will kill me. I'm just cutting the back in a bit and poking it so it's sticking up, and that will give the straight edge something to push up against when I'm cutting the other side here. So I've got two marks. I mean, you could use a pencil, but I like to do these marks. It's a bit more accurate. Push the straight edge up to both of them. You're not going to accidentally slip over it, because that little bit that's poking up is going to stop the straight edge from moving. I'm just going to score the top of the carpet, because obviously I don't want to push all the way through, because obviously this is customer's kitchen floor what's underneath here, and I'm sure she wouldn't like it with a big cut down it. You can see just the tip of the blades going through it, and then I can finish off the cut by pulling it up so it's not anywhere near those tiles. Nice straight edge, and now we're going to do the other side. So we've got one full length, and that length is long enough to do that whole flight. We need to check the pile direction of this carpet, and the pile direction is running away from me, so it's going that way, and that's going to be at the bottom of the stairs. So I'm going to roll it from the bottom of the stairs up to the top, ready to put on the stairs. So the tools that we're going to need for this job, we're going to need a bolster, which is this thing with a flat plate, and we're going to need a hammer. Now you hit the bolster with the hammer, quite easy. I'll show you how to do that in a sec. Alright, let's get this carpet, and we're going to lay it out roughly down this flight of stairs. And push it in just roughly so we've got enough material to work with. And I'm going to just leave a nice big bulge of material there. So obviously as I'm cracking it into the crease of the stairs, it's going to take up a lot of material. So let's get on with it, shall we? Alright, so at the top, we always start from the top. Well, some carpets you can start from the bottom. So I always like to start off with a bit of spray. So I like to spray the whole top step just to make sure it's all good, holds in. I've never had a customer complain that I've used glue. I always, you know, if you're going to have a complaint, you have someone saying it's not glued or stuck enough, not, oh, you've used glue. So I always like to make sure it's 100% right and secure, and a bit of spray helps with that. So I'm going to push it in so there's enough to tuck. I'm going to use my pokey or lino knife and make sure I poke enough down on the first bit of gripper. Yep, that's a lino knife, nice curved edge. Used to be used back in the day for actual cutting lino or linoleum. They used to use it with a sharpening stone, and they didn't actually have Stanley knives. They used that knife to fit it all. But we've obviously, in the future, you adapt it for your own use, and that's why we use it now for carpets. So we're poking it in, and we're going around that little bit of mill post at the top. Make sure it's all perfect. Poke down the sides. Make sure we've got no strands, or what we like to call them as dead bodies. Look at that handsome chap. He's not. Alright, now we get the boaster. So here comes the boaster. So we're going to pull it over the edge with our thumbs. Alright, and we're going to force it down onto the gripper with the boaster. And then force it over that edge with our thumb and pull it so it's nice and tight. That's lovely and tight now. Now we're going to use our stretcher, carpet stretcher or knee kicker, whatever you want to call it. Put it on my belly and I'm going to push a bubble. Now you see this bubble? That lifts the carpet off the bottom bit of gripper. You see? And it makes it easier to get it into that crease. Then you just take your hammer and you smack it in. This is really good technique to do if you have a really stiff carpet, and that stiff carpet sticks to the bottom bit of gripper, and you can almost put your boaster through that carpet. So this way you eliminate that, so you won't put your boaster through the carpet, because you're relieving the tension that's on the bottom bit of gripper by putting that bubble, which lifts it off, and then you can push it in. I've trained people how to fit this. Within 2 jobs they're fitting carpets. It's one of the quickest and easiest way of learning how to fit carpet, and I do it every carpet now. So look how tight that is. So that's the first step done. And you basically do the same thing all the way down. So I'm just pulling it down with my hands. Right, and then I'm going to pull it, use my thumb again to help force the carpet over, and then pull it down with the boaster. You know, it's pretty simple. Make sure it's all nice and flat on the top, because I haven't put any spray on the one in the middle. Make sure your sides are nice and poked down. Any little bits of fibre, take them out. Get the stretcher again. Stretch it out. See, you're putting that bubble in so it lifts it off the bottom row of gripper. Hammer it in so it's nice and even. That's the other thing, is making sure that you put the same amount of pressure and same amount of carpet into that crease all the way across, because if you don't, you'll get a bubble in the middle or a bubble on the edge, depends on where you have it. But if you drop that down and then you see there's a bubble in the middle and it's not flat, then obviously the middle has to go in a bit more into that crease. So then you get your bow star and smack it in the middle, and that'll take that bubble out, so it's all equally smacked in to the crease. And as long as you're happy with that, you can go to the next one, and then the next one, and before you know it, the flight's done. Just keep doing the same thing. Make it flat on top, pull it down over, use your thumb, use the bowster to pull it down so it's nice and flat over the riser. Then create a bubble at the bottom with a stretcher to get it off the gripper at the bottom. Then get your hammer and bowster and smack it in, and that's the way to do it. And that's it. Just do that all the way down, job done. So if you got anything from this video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe, because I put videos about flooring out all the time. And yeah, thanks very much everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, bye.
Can I squeeze through, mate?
You can, yeah.
I won't make too much of a mess. Don't move it, I know where it is.
There you go.
So you got it quite taking quite better, not?
No, not anymore. Got kids and I.
Yeah, that's the trouble with it.